Hello, and welcome to today's episode of The Memory Keeper. I'm your host, Bram Groen, and today we discuss a lesson that I won't forget soon.
Join Bram on an exciting journey, sharing travel stories that celebrate the power of memory. Through these stories, Bram raises awareness and support for both patients and caregivers, fighting Alzheimer's in honor of his wife, Sherry, who now resides in memory care. Without further ado, here's today's episode of The Memory Keeper.
Last week, I told you of my escape from revolutionary Iran when it started the theocratic regime in 1988, and which we all know now has become a major geopolitical issue. Leaving aside the deeper questions here, I do think that respect for Islam and its norms and customs is always appropriate. In that regard, the next story taught us a lesson I won't forget soon. It's about our trip to Egypt and us experiencing firsthand the call to prayer. We Westerners may not be used to the sound, but there is something very nice, small village community about the call to prayer. Azan, as it is called in the Muslim world, not unlike the church bells and the clock chimes in any village in the Christian world. The prayer is called Salah, and it takes place every day before dawn, afternoon, late afternoon, after sunset, and at nighttime. As the sun-earth position changes, so do the prayer times. The azan is delivered in Arabic by a muezzin from the local mosque, has no fixed melody, and may be sung live or on a recording. Either way, it is amplified very loudly so all can hear, and it lasts from 8 to 10 minutes, depending on many factors beyond my admittedly limited understanding. Azan Ishan happens at dusk after sunset, and that gets us to our evening at the pyramids. Mind you, they're located very close to the city and are such surrounded by numerous mosques. It was at the end of our Egypt tour that we visited the 3 Great Pyramids at Giza for a full day. We spent lots of time around there, riding a camel of course, and my enterprising wife going down that narrow corridor to the Khufu burial room inside the largest pyramid. The latter is too claustrophobic for me as a tall man. Seeing these giants from so close by and even climbing the stones alone is a life-altering experience in and of itself. After dinner, we bussed back to the site for the light show. It was precisely planned for 8 p.m. to accommodate the Western tourist industry and consisted of a very creative laser show illuminating the pyramids while listening to the voices of Khufu, Khafre, Menkaure, and of course, the great Ramses II. A terrific and sophisticated light show narrated in English and with background music, putting your mind back to the days of the pharaohs. The show started punctually at 8 o'clock, and as it happens, that day and month, the call for Ishan started about 10 minutes later. Oh God, oh Allah. We all had become very sensitized to Egyptian and Muslim culture and norms over the previous 3 weeks, but this was a new one altogether. You'd have to believe that the producers of this very high-tech show must have been of Western origin, and this was a very typical intercultural faux pas. The 2 loud sound sources were by no way reconcilable in any form. Our initial shock went into a collective silly laugh that lasted through the entire call for Ishan. The rest of the show was another 5 minutes or so. We did catch the last phrase that said something like, "They were buried in these pyramids." Our Egyptian tour guide told us on the way back to the hotel that he would pray to Allah 5 times tomorrow, asking him for forgiveness for his group's very understandable misbehavior. Our guide was right, of course, and we all know that we Westerners still have more to learn as it relates to respecting a religious practice that is simply foreign to so many of us. And yes, that counts vice versa as well. I hope you enjoyed this story. It's truly an honor to share our stories with you. The story I will cover next week brings the topic home to the American shores, as told by my dear friend and scholar Dr. Akbar Ahmed. See you next week for our story, Peace Be Upon You. My name is Bram Groen and I am the Memory Keeper.
Thank you for listening to The Memory Keeper. On behalf of Bram, we want to thank you for your help in raising awareness and support in the fight against Alzheimer's. If you feel inspired to make a difference, please consider making a charitable donation to the Alzheimer's Foundation of America in honor of Bram's wife, Sherry, by visiting thememorykeeper.org and clicking the button that says Donate. On our website, you can also sign up for our email list and receive the newest episodes directly to your inbox, as well as a full listing of episodes, show credits, and learn more about this program and why it exists. Lastly, if you enjoyed the series, we just ask you to share this episode with your friends and family, as well as subscribe to the show and follow us on social media at Memory Keeper Pod. Together, let's continue to raise awareness and make a difference in the fight against Alzheimer's. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right here next week for another episode of The Memory Keeper.